interview. I'm your host, Bentley. In this episode of the interview, we talk to arguably the greatest bowler of his generation, a hero to thousands, a champion two-hander, a game changer, a revolution maker. Welcome to the show, Jason Belmonte.
Thanks for having me. Even if you did get my name wrong, it's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, yes, let's make it more awkward than it needs to be. Right, let's get right into it, and let's start with the elephant in the room. You got a haircut. Believe me, we were all wondering when you were going to cut that ridiculous curl off your head.
What, you didn't like my curl? Look, it was getting a little bit crazy. So I think I'd grown it for about 18 months or nearly 2 years. And it was always leaning, I always thought it was going to get cooler. But I think it got to a point where it just got crazier and wasn't getting any cooler. So I just decided to trim it off. I can't believe you didn't like it. I kind of miss it.
Well, on behalf of all of your fans, thank you. You looked ridiculous. Now, you were the 2013, 2014 and 2015 PBA Player of the Year. You were winning majors, breaking records and winning a ton of money. Then 2016 rolls on by and, well, you were terrible. Why did you suck?
That's one way to look at it. I think from my perspective, I had a really good year. I had a great year. I didn't have a good year on TV. I was, as you say, terrible. But, if I look back throughout the season, I bowled really, really well. I was very happy with my performances. I think I was the second highest average on tour. I made, I think, more championship round appearances than anyone else. I know I didn't win any of them, but to make that many TV shows is not easy. So you have to be bowling. You have to be bowling well, and I was making television shows on patterns I'm not supposed to make. The shorter patterns, like the Wolf Open in Detroit. Made that show, which was the first time I'd ever made a short oil pattern show before, and that to me there's a lot of positives out of that. I just needed to get a little better on television, and it didn't go well.
Right, well, look, no one really cares about that qualifying stuff except you. People only care about winning, and you didn't win. Why?
Well, look, winning is the main focus from me, from the fans, from your sponsors. They want you to win, and I didn't win. And when you don't win for an entire year, and you've had some really successful years prior, you have to do a little bit of soul searching, and you start to wonder, what were some of the things that have changed, and what could be better. And I think it all started honestly from the very first TV show I made, which was TOC, when right, like I was saying, the first television show, because you come into a season after 3 years of winning, the Player of the Year, and you want to win it a fourth time. So there's a lot of pressure on your shoulders that you give yourself, that you want to achieve what no one else has done, on the PBA tour. And when you don't win that first time on television, you start to think, okay, well, now I've got to win the next one. I want to get off to a good start. I want to, have that chance to win that award again. And then you don't win, and then you don't win, and all of a sudden now there's less tournaments, and you put more and more pressure. And soon you start to realize that goal, that dream of becoming the only person to have won it 4 times in a row is drifting away. And it got to me. As simple as that. It really got to me.
So you're basically saying that you had a pathetic mental game.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, I had a terrible mental game. Jesus, you're rough.
Right, well, let's go back to one of those losses this year, the Detroit Open. We've got a clip, I believe. Can we roll that? Can we roll that clip?
Chose to finish on the left lane. Huge shot. Ninth frame. Oh my! What
That was good too.
happened?
Oh,
there?
I thought that was good.
Sean Rash on the bench has wrapped it up because of the struggles with Jason Belmonte. And for the second time of the fall swing, Sean Rash is a PBA Tour titleist.
Ooh, that is hard to watch. Look, I know you don't like to normally lose, but you did lose this tournament to your arch rival, Sean Rash. Now, that must have stung just a little more than usual, no?
I mean, look, I don't like losing to begin with. Losing to Sean isn't fun, but losing to anyone isn't fun. I think the worst part about losing that particular match was I don't think I gave him a good match. I don't think I gave him the best of me. And, you know, when I come off the lanes, if I feel like I've executed and I've bowled a good game and I wouldn't take any shots back and then the other guy still beats me, at least I feel like I can leave the lanes with my head held high a little bit. Like I gave them the best of me and they beat me and they deserve to win. But when, you know, you come off the pair of lanes and you feel like you lost it rather than they won it, that's the worst feeling. And it could be Sean, it could be anyone. It doesn't matter who the other person is. It's just that fact in that loss is the hardest to swallow.
So, no credit to the players whatsoever who beat you. They just didn't suck as badly as you did.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Don't put words into my mouth. What I'm saying is they were better than me on the day. I didn't give them the best of me, but they were better. And they deserve to win. And that's why they're the ones holding the trophy at the end of the tournament. And, I'm putting my balls back in the bag and, going off for a cry somewhere.
Let's change gears a little here. You look like you've lost a little weight. Are you sick?
No, I'm not sick. I just wanted to feel better, look better, trim a little bit of the fat off.
Yes. Good idea. TV does add a few extra kilos and it wasn't looking too good there for a little bit. You looked a little... it's probably the best way to describe it. You could probably do with a few more kilos, though. I'm just saying. What were you eating?
Wow. Well, every time I shagged your mum, she gave me a treat. By the way, say hi to her for me. It's been a while since I've replied to her messages. I kind of feel a little bad.
Singular Keraphobia, nasty disease. The fear of using one hand is why you play bowling the way that you do. How do you treat such a disease?
Mate, it's a joke. It doesn't exist. Singular Keraphobia isn't real. I just made it up.
So none of it was true. You just lied to all of us. Is that what you're saying?
Look, I'm sorry if you believe the mockumentary that I made. Like I said, I was just having a bit of a laugh. I get teased and about the two hands, so I was just having a little fun with it. I mean, I thought it was obvious in the video. Clearly you didn't.
I understand. All the videos you do are fake. That answers my next question about the Dude Perfect video. Fake. So, what's going on with you? What's new in the world of Jason Belmonte?
Well, there's a couple of things that are coming up. I've got some really cool things happening. Actually, one of them is over my right shoulder there. You can probably see a ball back there. It's called Timeless, and it's a brand new ball from Storm Bowling that I helped collaborate with them and design, and I'm extremely proud of it. February the 14th, Valentine's Day, it'll be released worldwide. And hopefully it rolls as great for everyone else as it does for me. So that's something. A lot of bowling coming up. Going to Japan. Going to the US for a major swing, a 3 major swing in February, and then help launch the ball. Timeless, anyone? Don't forget it.
Yes, well, it does seem that you're awfully busy, and you don't mind giving yourself a bit of a plug here or there. Good for you, good for you. Look, let's take some questions from your fans. I believe we got these questions from your Facebook or your Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I don't know. It's very difficult to keep up with your social media. But this question comes from Dawn O'Mara Lockwood, and she writes, my son is 14 and a good bowler. My question would be, what would you tell your young self to help him? Something that you learned as an adult.
Finally, a good question. It's a bloody good question. I think looking back, I wish someone had have told me when I was 14 that you cannot make everyone happy. You cannot make everyone love you. You just need to be you, and your truest and best mates will reveal themselves to you. I think for a lot of my years, I tried my best to make everyone like me, and that was, I think, something that I needed. I needed that love from my competitors, from people that I just meet, and then I realized that most of the people that you do come across, they're not going to love you. So wanting that to happen and forcing that to happen, or trying to force that to happen, I think was a really negative thing for me. So I wish someone had just said, just be yourself, and don't worry about everyone, just worry about those that you're closest with.
Okay, I think we have time for one more. Do we have time for one more? I'm been told we do. Okay, well, then we'll wrap this up. This question comes from Nate Kamena. He writes, do you find it weird or unsatisfying when someone from the USA calls you mate? Is it okay if we do that, or is that like an unspoken rule? Only Aussies should do that.
No, I don't mind at all. I mean, the only time that I would mind is if I know you don't like me, then I don't like it when you use that word. And sometimes, it happens many times, but there's always that little thought in your mind when you're hearing that person who does not like you call you mate. You're like, should I tell him, don't call me that? Call me something else because you're not my mate. And most of the time I just let it slide on by and shake it off. I think you'll find most Aussies won't care. I think we're pretty laid back people, so.
Well, what a great and fun chat that was with Jason Belmonte. Thank you all for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode of the interview. Jason, mate, thank you so much for your time. Good luck on the lanes in 2017. We wish you all the best, we really do. And hopefully the next time that we talk, you would have actually have won something in that year. Yes.
Thanks. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Yes. So from all of us here, good night.